We are back for our daily MLB Best Bets here on Tuesday, September 23rd. Yesterday was a day, all right? The Padres come through in extra innings, but we didn't get any variety, or we didn't get a chance to select any games, right? We were given those 3 spots, and they weren't great. We get all 30 teams today, and we're locked in on postseason baseball. You might ask, whoa, the postseason's not for another 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. Well, this is the playoff race. One could say this is more fun than the wild card round itself. It's not, but we get to see now this week who's making the playoffs. Now, I will get this. I will talk about this right now, and I won't talk about it again for the rest of the video. I'm sure we'll visit it later on in the week. Tigers-Guardians is huge this week. It just is. I don't want to pick either side on that with that game today because the Tigers are pretty big favorites with Screwball on the mound. I can see a world where the Guardians win. I won't say that's a best bet, but winner of that game today will enter first place in the American League Central. Tigers are with an all-time choke job right now. Guardians currently in the wild card race, and we'll talk about the wild card race later in the video. But every single bet today, except for the Washington Nationals, will involve some playoff, or will have some playoff involvement with it. Anyways, before we get into the video, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more daily Mlb Best Bets here on the channel. We posted our college football week 5 predictions yesterday. It is 7 minutes shy of 4 hours of college football picks. Yep, every single game, 51 of them. Make sure to go check that out. That's linked in the description down below. Greedo Plays MMA Contender Series is tonight, so go check that out. PFL Perth, UFC Perth, later this week. Predictions already out. PFL Nantes France predictions already out. And PFL MENA predictions are going to be out either later today or tomorrow morning. So we got you covered on Greedo Plays MMA this week. We've just got so many things going on the channels this week. And we're starting things off with the Cincinnati Reds. I've seen this line hover from -140 to -155. I think it's playable up to -150. -155, I think about it. Guys, there's no chance in hell the Reds don't win today. I know it's a bold statement to make about a team that has screwed us for majority of the season, but recently, we've been all right. That series against the Cubs, I think, has redeemed the Reds for the entire season. Even that horrible series they played in Sacramento against the Athletics, I think they have been redeemed, okay? The Reds have been winners in 6 out their last 7, I believe. Yeah, 6 out their last 7. And now they are in the postseason. For now. They have the tiebreaker on the New York Metropolitans. And as of now, they are in. They are in right now. They control their own destiny. And, well, the Reds have been gifted the fact that they get to play the Pittsburgh Pirates this week. And then later in the week, they go to Milwaukee. But they go to Milwaukee against the Brewers team that has everything clinched up. They know they're going to be the number 1 seed in the National League, and that's when the Reds get to go play them. More on the Mets later, but I'm going with Cincinnati here. This just makes sense. Guys, to me, you can't pick the Pirates unless Skeens is pitching. And even when Skeens does pitch, you can't trust them. Skeens pitches, I believe, tomorrow night, Wednesday. No, tomorrow's Wednesday. He pitches tomorrow. Hunter Green is going for the Reds. I'm probably going to stay off that game just because... Actually, I might go with the Reds. We'll see. Because I guarantee you Skeens is not going more than 5 innings. He has the Cy Young locked up. He just has to hit his once every 5 days start, and the Pirates are going to yank him and say, congratulations on the Cy Young Award. We're going to waste your career until you can go to the Dodgers, right? I hope he doesn't go to the Dodgers. But you get what I mean with that, right? The Pirates today are pitching Johan Oviedo. Oviedo's solid. I will give him that, right? 3.52 ERA this year. Coming off a start, though, against the Chicago Cubs, where he went 5 innings, gave up 4 runs and 5 hits. I will never trust the Pittsburgh Pirates to win baseball games. I know they just won a series against the Athletics at home, but you put them on the road against a Reds team that is on fire right now. They just swept the Cubs at home, and now Reds players are tweeting it. The official Reds Twitter account is tweeting it. Our X account, whatever. It's a thing that's happening now. Hashtag Pack Great American Ballpark. The fans are coming out in full force this week to cheer their team on into the postseason. Now, obviously, the week will end in Milwaukee, and if they clinch, which I hope they do because I hate the Mets, that clinching will be done at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. However, the steps to getting to the postseason absolutely start right now. It's as simple as that. Right, your steps are right now to get in. Ultimately, you want to sweep Pittsburgh, and you should be able to sweep Pittsburgh. I look at the series, though. Tomorrow you should win with Hunter Green going, and with the fact that the Pirates don't score and you're probably going to pull Skeens after 5 innings. But this is the game you need to win. You have to get this one against Johan Oviedo, who, has not pitched horribly this season, but has posted a 3.45 ERA in September, and his team is 0-3 when Johan Oviedo pitches in the month. They have not won yet with Oviedo on the mound, and Brady Singer is going for Cincinnati, who's been very solid. 3.86 ERA on the season. So far in the month of September, 2.04 ERA. In August, 2.41 ERA. Yeah, Singer's been pretty good. I would expect him to be pretty good again today. That's the simplest way I can put it. Look at the Pirates lineup. They're not doing anything, especially coming off a series where they actually did hit against the Athletics. On Sunday, they put up 11 runs on the A's and Mitch Spence, who is not very good. How many days in a row are the Pirates going to put up those numbers? The Reds are locked in. They're officially on. They can see the playoffs, all right? There's not been playoff baseball in Cincinnati since, I'm so serious, it was 2010? 2012? Of course, the COVID year, but that doesn't count because there's no fans. When was the last time the Reds were in the playoffs? I believe it was 2010. I could be wrong. 13. My apologies. Oh, right. They lost in Pittsburgh in the wild card round. That was the game wasn't that the game where Cueto dropped the ball? It was. 2012 is the last time a home playoff game has been played in Cincinnati, Ohio. Yeah. Were they the wild card game that year? No, they played. Okay, that was the series where they're up 2-0 against the Giants, and they lost the last 3. That was the Posey Grand Slam year. Had to have been. Yeah. It has been 16 years since a home playoff game has been played in Cincinnati. Now, there's a chance there won't be one this year either if they lose in the first round. But it's a team that has not been in the postseason with fans since 2013. So make it happen. This is the culmination of all this losing in Cincinnati. They got to win today, and they will. I'm taking the Reds money line. This is an absolute must for them, and they will get it. Reds minus 145. Next up, we go to our nerfy of the day. Actually, there's not many postseason implications here, but hear me out. I don't think a run scored in the first. It's 2 starting pitchers, the guys we want. I know Edward Cabrera has been a very mixed bag as of late. I just need 1 inning. I just need 1. Edward Cabrera, prior to the month of August, was having a career season. I still think he is having a career season. Yeah, you can say that. He's been good this year, right? Career low in ERA since 2022. 2.5 WAR on the year. Cabrera has been really good. So 3.57 ERA for Cabrera. Again, going into the month of September, though, his ERA was going into the month of August, his ERA was 3.24. He had a very rough August, and now he's back after a month off. They wanted to get him one more start before the season ended. And this is that last start for Edward Cabrera. He does come back after being off for about 3 months, and he's pitching in the bank against the Philadelphia Phillies. Now, are the Phillies 100% in playoff form? I don't know. I mean, you could tell at the end of that Arizona series after they clinched in Los Angeles and whatnot, got back from that road trip. They're like, all right, well, we're in. We have 5 games on the Dodgers. Unless we lose out and they win out, we're going to be the 2 seed. The Phils aren't playing for much. That's the simplest way I can put it. They're not playing for much. They know where they're going to be. They got Alec Boehm back. They're waiting for Trey Turner to come back probably this weekend. I would assume Turner is going to play a little bit. Very least, I would say he'd probably DH. I think they're going to try to get Trey back before the playoffs. But the Phils know where they're at. They're going to be a playoff team. Edward Cabrera, again, who was very mid in the month of August. His last start was really bad before he hit the IL, that elbow sprain against the New York Metropolitans in New York. His team won this game, by the way, because lol Mets. But Edward Cabrera against New York went 4 innings, 8 hits, and 6 runs, gave up 3 homers in Queens, yet his team still won the game 11-8. Prior to that, though, he had a great start against the Atlanta Braves. He went 7 innings of 1-hit baseball at 10 strikeouts. Start before that, though, against the Cardinals was brutal. 4 innings, 11 hits, and 6 runs. So it was a mixed bag for Edward Cabrera in the month of August. However, if you look at his entire season, he was very good. Edward Cabrera had a good year, except for, I would say, his re-entry into the major leagues, at least coming off of the injury in April, where he was started the year in Jacksonville AAA, came up, pitched poorly in his first month, but really bounced back since and has been good all season long. Again, another injury he suffered last month, but he does get this final start of the year, and I think, again, he should just be able to get 3 outs. Now, nerfies with the Phils are always difficult because the guys at the top of the lineup, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, those are potentially the 2 hardest outs back-to-back, at least with the nerfy, and especially just ever. That's a very tough 2 outs to get. because of their ability to hit home runs, because of their ability, Bryce's ability to plug a gap and start running, and Harrison Bader, who's been swinging a very hot bat in the leadoff spot as well for Philadelphia. Hell, Harrison Bader's a .330 hitter this year with Philadelphia. We need Cabrera just to come through. Flip side, Christopher Sanchez will be pitching for the Philadelphia Phillies. 2.66 ERA on the season. That is 6th best in all of baseball. Phils do nothing but win with Sanchez on the bump. I can almost guarantee you he gets to start for game number 1 of the National League Divisional Series against either the Los Angeles Dodgers, Cincinnati Reds, or New York Metropolitans, or I guess the D-backs who are still around. Sanchez likely gets the ball in game number 1. They do nothing but win with him pitching. 2.66 ERA. Had a little bit of difficulties last week against the Dodgers. What did he do? He gave up 4 runs and continued to pitch deep into the game once his team got back into the game. So Sanchez is a really good arm. I'm not concerned with the Marlins hitting against him. I know Miami has their random games where they just completely ball out and look like one of the best teams you've ever seen. And the Marlins have been winning a lot of games recently. They are still technically not eliminated from the playoffs because they've won, I think it was like 10 out their last 11 games after losing a series in the Nationals, but I'm not too concerned about this team. I mean, if they score, they're going to score later. I'm not even picking a money line here. They're going right now, Marcy, Ramirez, Edwards batting in the 3. That's kind of odd. And they're batting Liam Hicks in the 4. It's not a team I'm concerned about, and especially against a guy like Christopher Sanchez, the Phillies should be okay. I'm going to go with the nerfy today from Citizens Bank Park, -120 with the Miami Marlins and the Philadelphia Phillies. On to our third best bet. This is the game with absolutely no playoff implications, but hear me out, okay? We've talked about the Nats for like 150 days straight at this point, over 150 days straight, so we might as well make it like 157 days straight, okay? Maybe I'll fit the Nationals into every playoff video. I'm joking, okay? Come Sunday, it's the last time I'm going to talk about the Nationals until next March, okay? Nats +1.5 today. I know it didn't go our way yesterday. It should go our way today. I hope. Hurston Waldrop is pitching for the Braves. Waldrop hasn't been great against the Nationals. I know the last time Waldrop pitched against the Nats, he was okay, and actually this was the same exact matchup last Wednesday between the Nationals and Braves, at least in terms of starting pitchers. It was Brad Lord and it was Hurston Waldrop going. Waldrop and the Braves win the game 9-4. A lot of missed opportunity for the Nats. Lord pitched well. It's just once they got into the bullpen, nothing went well because that's just what happens with the Nationals sometimes. Clayton Beater, Serene Lau, even though Lau redeemed himself in that Mets game big time in extra innings on Saturday. But anyways, that game was competitive, when Lord came out. When Lord came out, he came out in a, 3-3 game? And even again, after Beater was done, it was a 4-3 game going into the 7th. Going into the bottom of the 6th. We get a run and a half in this too, right? We get +1.5 in this spot. I think the game's going to be competitive. I think there's a potential for the Nationals to win, especially how many runs the Braves scored yesterday. I get it. The Braves have our number right now. And ultimately, maybe this is just, a high IQ move by Miguel Cairo and the Nationals. We just essentially screwed the Mets out of everything. And now we're trying to screw the Braves out of a lottery pick. Because the Braves were in prime position to get a great pick. And now they've won, 9 games in a row. And 5 of them are against the Washington Nationals. Okay. Hey. Have fun picking in the 13th spot behind us, I guess. No, I think the Nats are able to play a competitive game today. Yesterday was not good. Yesterday sucked for the Nats. You lose 11-5. Bright spots, there weren't many, but the Jacob Young, circus catch, because I guess it's just all he does now. I guess he's just clip farming now on the internet, which is cool, I guess. We're going to get stuck with Jacob Young as our starting center fielder next year, aren't we? Oh, my goodness, we are. I just thought about that. I'm happy JY's making these grabs, and you've seen him, obviously. You don't even have to be a Nationals fan to see the JY catches. ESPN's sending out worldwide notifications about Jacob Young's grabs. Everyone's tweeting about it, and I just thought to myself, wait, now the Nats are going to go with this, and they're going to give JY another bobblehead, and they're gonna give him a kick bobblehead next year, aren't they? And they're gonna make him the starting center fielder. Oh no. They're gonna keep Dylan Cruz in right field. See, now this is where you trade Jacob Young and tell teams, hey, look, we have a great defender who is quietly gaining steam to win Gold Glove in center field. Something he should have won a couple years ago or last year, or 2 years ago. It's gonna go to PCA, I think, but still. That's not where you trade Jacob Young and say, hey, look at all these amazing catches he makes. Don't look at the fact that he bats .230 and has no power. Anyways, though, I kind of like the Nats in this spot. Is Dalen Lyle going to play today? Probably not. I don't think they're going to rush Lyle back. If Lyle is going to play, he's going to play the last series at home against Chicago, just for the fans, for the 10 fans that show up over the weekend for the White Sox series. But the pitching matchup is better today for the Nationals. It's not a lefty. They sat James Wood yesterday because the Nats are very hard trying to avoid him breaking the strikeouts record. He's got 5 games to not strike out 8 times. They're going to sit him for 2 of those games, though, so I think James Wood's going to be okay. He's not going to break the single-season strikeout record, which is just crazy to me, man. Like, I did not think my thoughts about the season would conclude with, Dalen Lyle's the future, Dylan Cruz is playing phenomenally, and, oh, God, James Woods hit 2 home runs since the All-Star break. Oh, it sucks, man. It really does. I don't know what to say. Like, it's just... Dylan Cruz, though, is playing phenomenal baseball. Cruz with the solo home run yesterday. Quietly, nobody's talking about it. Dylan Cruz has, like, a 10-game hitting streak going on right now. He does nothing but get on base. And sure, a lot of these are 1-for-4 games. I don't give a damn. He's blasting the baseball, and he's finally getting rewarded for the great swings that he's taken. I would argue this is Cruz's best month ever in the major leagues. Maybe April before he got injured was really good, but Cruz is batting like .265 this month. He got 700 OPS. I mean, I'm going to take that right now out of Dylan Cruz. Again, that's going to only go up, but this is the exact confidence booster he needed. My goal for Cruz was finish the season batting .220, and I think he's going to. He's got 215 with, still 5 games to play. I think he's going to hit that mark. So I'm really excited for Cruz and what he's going to bring for us next season. And that's another guy who can help us today, right? I'm just looking at these bats for the Nationals. Again, it's a righty in Waldrop. Okay, Josh Belson. Cool. No Andres Chaparro, who did go 3 for 5 yesterday and had a huge, or 2 for 5, and had a huge 3 RBI single. Or double. I think they called him a single. It might have been a single, just advanced. I don't know what the official ruling was. But I feel good about the Nationals today. Lord, I think, is going to have a good start, and I think the Nats are going to win. So, worst case, they cover by 1. The Braves can't continue to win, right? Too little too late for the squad, but you've won 11 in a row. It's time to finally lose 1. And if not, okay, I just need a close game out the Nationals. Give me Nats plus 1.5 on the road at Truist Park. Next up, we go to Wrigley Field. I cut out the player prop today. There was nothing I liked, so we're going to finish the video at 2 money lines with 2 playoff implication games. Okay. In Chicago, Illinois, Wrigley Field, Mets versus Cubs. I'm going with the Cubs. It just makes perfect sense, doesn't it? You go to Cincinnati, you get beat up every single game, you can't score, the Reds find a way to win in every single outing that you play, and now you return home, better spot for you, and it's time to beat up on the Mets. The Mets suck. They suck, man. This team is horrible. Sure, did Jacob Young alone stop the Mets from losing on Sunday? Oh, he did. JY is the only reason he dropped 2 home runs and had a phenomenal play where again the ball, he kicked it off his foot to catch it. I don't know how he did it, but Jacob Young alone gave the Mets that loss. The Mets have negative momentum right now. The team's in shambles. And, you got to go to Chicago and face their best pitcher now. Cade Horton is going tonight for the Chicago Cubs. 2.66 ERA this season. Cade Horton's final start until the postseason. ERA was 1.2 in August, 1.5 in July, and it's 1.1 so far in September. He is en route to win National League Rookie of the Year, even though I believe that should be Dalen Lyle, but I believe it's going to go to Horton. I think Drake Baldwin's going to get votes as well. I don't even know if Lyle's going to get 3rd place. He should. I'm going to look at the odds real quickly. Why isn't Lyle even... I can't even bet on Lyle. Horton's minus 370, Baldwin plus 170, Isaac Collins plus 8,000, Caleb Durbin plus 10,000. You're telling me that Lyle hasn't had a better season than Caleb Durbin? Are we dead ass here? Are we dead ass? Caleb Durbin bats .260 and has 10 home runs this year. Seriously? Whatever. This is the Rookie of the Year in Cade Horton. In the National League, right? He's been great. And the Mets struggle against good pitching. Obviously, well, everyone's going to struggle against Cade Horton. He's been dominant. He gives up essentially 1 run or less in every single start that he throws. This is trouble for New York. On top of that, the Mets are going to be throwing David Peterson today. David Peterson, we talk about how Horton's like an automatic to just only give up one run. David Peterson's been one of the worst starting pitchers in baseball for the last 2 months. August, 6.68 ERA. September, 7.63 ERA. It's time to get rid of the Mets today. Reds win, Mets lose. That's the narrative we're pushing. I don't care. D-backs, maybe the Dodgers. I don't know. Ohtani's pitching. Who cares? There's no bet for that. All right? It's time to get rid of these guys. It's time to get rid of the Metropolitans, and this is where you completely stick in the dagger. You sink the dagger, like in basketball, obviously, right? Peterson hasn't been good. He has not been good. He's had one good start in the last 2 months. It was against the Washington Nationals. But other than that, he hasn't pitched well. Last start against the Padres, 5 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs. Part of the Mets' disastrous series. Well, no, that series was not disastrous. Disastrous month they've had. Start before that against the Phillies, 5 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs. Before that against the Reds, 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs. You suck. Peterson's ERA on the year is 4, and that's because of how great he was in May. He had a 2.3 ERA over there. In July, he had a 1.05 ERA. Of course, Peterson was an all-star this season. He has fallen apart in the second half of the year. He is more than unreliable. He's not good. Cade Horton is the opposite. This guy's only gotten better as the season has gone on. Hell, he struggled at the beginning of the year. He had June, he had a 5.4 ERA. He's done nothing but improve on that since. Since June, Cade Horton has not had a month where he's had an above 2 ERA. That's dominance. And say what you want about the Cubs getting swept in Cincinnati. Wrong place, wrong time. You take on a Reds team that's hot right now. Cubs aren't entirely focused on winning, but hear me out. You're back home. You got to get some momentum before the playoffs. You don't get that bye. You got to go straight in. A week from today, the Cubs will be hosting Game 1 of the National League Wild Card round against the San Diego Padres. So it's go time right now. It is go time. You have to start winning a little bit. It's time to pick up some momentum. Their lineup went ice cold in Cincinnati. Yeah, that's not going to continue to happen. All right, this team is too good to remain ice cold. All right. Nico Hoerner, Ian Happ. PCA sucks, so I'm not going to include him. How about Moises Balestrios? That dude can hit. We're fine here. I'm taking the Cubs. This is going to be a lull Mets moment because they suck. Give me Chicago Cubs money line at home, especially with Horton pitching and David Peterson going for the Mets, minus 120 for the Chicago Cubs. On to our final best bet of the video. We go to the American League West, and we go to a matchup between the Sacramento Athletics and the Houston Astros. I'm taking the Astros to win at minus 105, right? As of now, as of midnight, they are slight underdogs. I don't know where this line's going to end up. I'm going with the Stros. It's a must-win spot. I'm a big believer in September that you take the teams that need to win. And if they don't win, well, we can complain about it, I guess. But I'm going to take the team that absolutely needs to pick up the victory. That's where the Astros are at. And I know people are down on the Stros right now, and you should be. And we faded the Astros quite a bit last weekend because, not entirely of the Astros, though. We were fading them because of how good the Mariners are. Guys, I've been on record saying, and I'm going to say it again, the Seattle Mariners are going to the World Series this year. I believe they are. Currently, they will be the number 2 seed. It's going to take a lot for them actually to drop out of the 2 seed. They're going to go straight to the divisional round, and they will likely host probably the New York Yankees. Okay. No, wait. No. They play the 1-3. Oh, no. They're going to host either the Tigers or like the Red Sox, the Guards. Yeah, they're in a great spot, are the Seattle Mariners right now. They're in a phenomenal spot. And they're playing great baseball. Everyone's hitting. Pitching is great. Bullpen is great. That's okay. The Astros lost to them. That's a good team. Is Houston going to get in? Is Cleveland going to get in? Is Detroit going to get in? Or is Boston going to get in? I don't know. All of those teams, one of those teams has to miss the playoffs. Right now, I am leaning still for the Astros. But this one spot, they should win. They should win in Sacramento. I just think everybody else wins today. I think that, well, somebody's got to lose in the Guardians-Tigers. I kind of want to lead in Guardians, but then the Astros are still a game back in Detroit because Detroit still has the division lead, so they'd still be on the outside. Boston might lose today. It might be Boston that misses out. They are playing very poor baseball right now, but they're playing the Blue Jays, and the Blue Jays have sucked for the last week. But Toronto's obviously they're in full postseason mode, so I don't know what's going on there. The Blue Jays are a weird team. I don't buy in at all to them. Anyways, got to go with the Stros tonight. Pitching matchup, Christian Javier versus Jeffrey Springs. Javier's been good recently. You know, I know the ERA is 4.45. I will say he's been serviceable, and the serviceableness I'm talking about is in his last start. His ERA is going to fluctuate just because he's only had 8 starts this year. It came back in August. You know, last start against the Rangers was good. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs. It's just he doesn't have many innings in. He hasn't pitched many games, so the ERA is going to, you know, go up and down like crazy with the good starter or with the bad starter. It's just going to go up and down, up and down. Pitching in Sacramento is difficult against this A's lineup that, you know, can hurt you sometimes. But I'm okay with taking Houston in the spot. The A's are coming off of not scoring in 18 consecutive innings. Now, playing in Sacramento will usually fix that, but the A's are in a mode where their season's over. They're giving other guys some run now. Like, they're playing Max Muncy some. They're playing Max Schumann more. They're playing Brett Harris. They're playing Colby Thomas. Oh, Colby Thomas usually plays, but they're playing Hernandez more. Like, you can tell, again, they are in full last week of the season mode. And they're taking chances in the bullpen now, I guess, right? Osvaldo Bido is back, and he's pitching in the bullpen. Scott McGough, wherever the hell you say his name, is 35 years old, and he's pitching out of their bullpen. Wait, is this Scott McHugh? Oh, no, this is the Scott McHugh. Is it? No, it's not. Wait, I'm blank. No, not the Scott McHugh. Oh my God. Oh my God, I'm forgetting his name. Was it Colin McHugh? This is horrible. I apologize. It was Colin McHugh. I was just thinking to myself, wait, Colin McHugh's on the A's? That's why I said the Scott McHugh. I meant the Colin McHugh. It's not. Is that his brother? I have no idea. Anyways, I really random. I thought Colin McHugh was pitching for the Athletics. Scott McHugh's pitching for the Athletics. The A's are just trying things now. The season's over. They're back at home. They don't care. This is everything to the Houston Astros, okay? Guys, you are a letdown in the city of Houston if you cannot make the playoffs, because they have done it every single year, and not just make the playoffs, they've gone to the ALCS in almost all those years with the exception of last season where they lost in the first round of the Detroit Tigers, okay? Winning isn't just, you know, it's not just expected in Houston with the Astros, it's a given. Now, trash cans and buzzers and whatnot, I don't know, but there's a lot of pressure on this team right now, and I think they're going to walk into Sacramento and win. Javier is going. I think he's going to have a serviceable night. I think Jeffrey Springs is going to give up a lot of runs. I know he pitched fairly well in his last outing in Boston against the Red Sox. Start before that, though, against the Red Sox in Sacramento was bad. And this is another one of these pitchers that, you know, pitch well on the road, and at home, they're just absolutely horrible, because that's just how, you know, Sutter Health plays. It's a minor league ballpark. It's still hot. It's September, but, it is still going to be, I guarantee you, it's going to be 95 degrees tomorrow in Sac. Like, I know it is. So that means it's going to be probably high 8s by first pitch at 7 o'clock. That's why the A's always play at the latest possible slot, you know, that they have. It's still going to be 87 degrees. Ball's still going to fly. And obviously guys like, you know, every pitcher for the A's, Jeffrey Springs included, nobody likes pitching there. So I think the Astros jump out on a lot of stuff here tonight. And I think they are going to go on the road and win. They need to win these games. And I think they do get it done. So it's going to be Houston. I'm going to take an Astros money line. We need Correa, Altuve, Pena, these guys at the top of the order to really carry the lineup. Christian Walker sucks at baseball, so not him. But we need the guys at the top of the lineup to really come through. I'm taking Astros money line on the road against the Athletics as slight underdogs. It's going to be minus 105 for the Astros to walk into Sutter Health Park and win. Folks, thank y'all for watching our Mlb Best Bets here for September 23rd. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you did disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching. And Mamba forever.